So if you want to see how I made my factory handlebars look like this for a total of $28 and some leftover spray paint, stay tuned and watch this video. Alright, so I'm working on getting off this center pad for the handlebars, and the main reason I'm doing this is because you can buy the aftermarket steering system from Riva, and it's another thing that costs like $700 some dollars. I want to do this cheaply because I don't really mind the bars that are on this. I just want to get rid of the center pad that's here because I don't like the way the look of it. I don't like how bulky it is, and I don't like that you have to lean over it to see the gauges. A lot of people struggle with getting these off because all these screws down here are red Loctited in. And I'll show you how I got them off, and the easiest way to do that was, first things first, there's 6 smaller screws here, and then 2 here, and the same thing on the other side. And those 6 smaller screws are just screwed into plastic, so those will come out really easy. And then this top piece will come right off just like this. Now, these 4 down here are the ones that suck. The top 2 are slightly easier, so what I did was, before I got started, in these top holes, I put a little squirt of PB Blaster in each hole. What I did was I used what's called an impact screwdriver, which is basically this. You can get these at Harbor Freight or on Amazon. They're pretty cheap, like maybe 20 bucks. And all this is you set it to left, you shove it in there and hit it with a hammer as you turn it, and it'll spin that bolt loose. So lock the steering to one side, shove it up in here, smack it with a hammer, and it'll crack these bolts loose. Same thing, turn it this way, hit it, crack these bolts loose. And it's still kind of a pain in the ass, but they'll come off without having to cut them. All right, now that that's off, I have access to this mount for the handlebars. Step 2 is going to be take off the grips and the controls so I can get the handlebars off. Now, if you want to just leave it like this, you can use the crossbar that I'll show you later and just run it like this, but I'm going to take the handlebars off. I'm going to paint them, and I want to paint this mount as well. And I also want to shave down this mount to get rid of some of these tabs that are on here, clean it up, make it look a little bit better. Couple Allen screws, all the controls are off. Next is going to be to take these bars off. Pretty straightforward, the bars came right off. There was some Loctite on the bolts, but an impact zipped them right off. Now they do sell aftermarket bars that match or have a similar V taper to this. However, I don't mind the taper of these bars. I like how they are, and I also like that they have locking points for the controls not to twist. So save myself the 40 to 70 bucks. I'm just gonna paint these and put them back on. All right, now I got the bars painted. If you're wondering what I used, it's Duplicolor Metal Specs blue and some Rust-Oleum clear coat. Now we're gonna get to the part that is not reversible if you wanna do this. I want to cut off this tab here, and when I grind down this here, so when basically the bare minimum amount of metal needed to clamp the handlebars on. Again, if you're not into avoiding your warranty, I'd probably not do this part. However, I don't really care about that. That was gone a long time ago. So what I'm gonna use to cut that off, little 3-inch cutoff tool, flat disc to smooth it out. And then I'm gonna lay some rags down to make sure I don't screw up any of the paint job. So if it didn't make sense what I was planning on doing by cutting here, basically here's the side that's finished. Here's the side that's not. You can see I took this mounting tab, cut it off, and then this lug that extends to bolt the original bar pad too. I cut it off here, and then I just smoothed this out with an angle grinder, as well as some of the casting imperfections all along here. And then I'll sand it up before I paint it after I finish the other side. All right, now I got the steering column sanded, taped off good enough. Just gonna hit it with some black spray paint. All right, now that the steering column's painted, we start putting it back together. The Riva kits come with a plate that covers this hole. You can't buy the plate alone. You can buy the cover plate for just the throttle, but they're like 50 bucks. And then you can't just buy this plate, it comes with the kit. So I'm gonna either try to make one or run it with a. So this is the finished product. This is the Pro Taper bar pad, $18. The crossbar is like 10. I'll put some links. I didn't end up making a cover plate yet. Just kind of wanted to finish the video. I'll make one eventually, but it works without it.